All right, hey Mike, how are you doing? Here we are, excited to have a discussion with Mike Dykstra, employee, Public Works employee profile. So Mike, how did you come to work for the city of Port Coquitlam?
Actually, in 1980, when I first started, a friend of mine who actually had a job here, Ian Wilson, came to me and he says, "Hey, Mike, if you're looking for a job, City of Poco is hiring for rink patrol." So I went down and I ended up getting the job.
So how old were you back then?
16.
16. So how many years you been working here then, buddy?
I've been here 40 years. In September, it'll be 41 years.
Wow. Can you kind of describe to me what the city was like way back when you started when you were 16 years old?
First, there was an awful lot less people working here. It was a very small community. I, when you walked into City Hall, you knew everybody. Half the people that worked there were either somebody's mom and dad or the people we went to school with. And same as the mayor. I mean, I would walk through City Hall, and the mayor would come to me and say, "Hey, Mr. Dykstra, how you doing? Great to see you again." So it was a lot closer, a lot tighter knit than it is now.
Oh, awesome. Do you remember how much per hour you made on your first paycheck?
Well, my first job, I was getting $5.14 an hour. The only thing that happened was that we worked for a couple of months and then we went on strike. So when I was working, my 2 week paycheck was $50 a week. And when I was on strike, it was $65 a week. So I made more money on strike than I did working. So every day I would go to school, and then at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I would end up at City Hall and do the picket line for a couple hours, which was kind of interesting.
So that's really cool. You started when you were 16. So obviously now you're our streets foreman 3. Can you tell me what positions you've worked over the years? You must have done a lot of pretty neat things.
I think I've done just about everything in the city. My first job was the rink patrol, and then I worked in parks for every summer. I would cut the lawns and weed eat and stuff like that. And during the winter, I also, like after school was out, I graduated. I became a Zamboni operator, and after a few months of that, I became foreman in the arena. Then I moved over to the pools and I became a pool maintenance person. And then during the summers, I would come over and I drove the garbage truck, I drove the dump trucks. I worked in engineering for a while, program assistant in recreation. So pretty much every job in the city.
That's awesome. So your job now is the foreman 3 of streets. What does your job entail?
Um, an awful lot. It is a very broad job because we take care of the streets, the sidewalks, the dikes, the creeks. So we do beaver dams we got to take care of. Most of my job now is on the computer. I have to arrange for contractors. I have to do the time cards, make sure everything's going that way too. Make sure our employees are going okay, and hopefully getting us new employees. Stuff like that.
So, yeah. What is a typical day like for you, Mike?
I think every day is pretty much very busy. There's an awful lot of problem shooting with employees, where to put employees, especially first thing in the morning. I start here, like I get here about 6:30, maybe 25 to 7. And right away, telephone calls start coming in about people not being here, that we got to fill positions. Les will phone me about 10 to 7 and say we need a garbage guy or we need a sweeper operator. So I got to look on the work plan to see if I can provide people for him. And same as Roy. Roy sometimes needs a person, or he doesn't need his people if we can fill people in like that. So the first 10 minutes of every day is very busy. And then after that, it's just going through all the process of the time cards and, yeah, everything like that.
Cool. What do you like most about your job?
I like the people. I enjoy coming in. I enjoy the people that we can joke around and we can, it's good. It's just a good bunch of people to get along with. I know when I first started here, or the first few years, I didn't go camping with the guys. We didn't play softball. We didn't go on the golf tournaments. And now, if the guy, like I've gone camping with some of the guys, I've gone out with some of the guys, or they go out to the pub. We go out to the pub sometimes after work. And I know their wives, I know their kids. It's also growing up with some of them too. But yeah, it's very nice that way. The people, I think, make a big part of what I enjoy about this job.
If you could switch your job with anyone else within the city, whose job would you want?
I would like to sit in the CAO position for a week, so I know what he does or she does, and I would like them to come down here, and so they know exactly what we do, because I think they think, or I think anyways, that they think we have an easy job down here, and I think they have a very easy job up there, and I think it'll open up both our eyes that what we do and stuff like that.
What is the strangest thing you have experienced at the city?
Well, the strangest and the scariest was probably when we had a bomb threat at Hyde Creek. It was quite a few years ago, and we're working away, and all of a sudden the RCP knock at the door, and they say, "Yeah, someone just phoned in a bomb threat. You guys have to leave the building." So we had to leave the building, and they went through the whole Hyde Creek. They didn't find anything, but it was very strange to get something like that.
So we're going to change the direction a little bit here. What do you like to do for fun?
I love to travel. Also, I like to ride my motorcycle, but traveling is a big part of my life. Ever since I met my wife, back in '96, which is quite a few years ago. I think it was like we were dating for 2 months, and she came home one day and she said, "We're going to Africa." And I said, "Well, if I go to Kenya and Tanzania, that's okay." But she said also Egypt. How about going to Egypt? And I said, "Well, what do I want to see at Egypt? Who cares? A couple of pyramids." And going through, it just opened my eyes going to Egypt. And now we do about 3 trips a year, and there's a big world out there. I just love to see it. We have an agreement that everywhere I go, or we go, we have to include scuba diving, because that is a big part. I truly enjoy going down scuba diving. And just lately, the last few years, because we've done so many dives and you see so many clownfish and stuff, that we started taking up cageless shark diving. So I truly enjoy doing that too.
Wow, that's awesome. What is your greatest life experience?
Getting married. If I didn't say that, I wouldn't have any more life experiences.
Do you have a favorite quote?
No, I don't think so.
Who has influenced you in your life, and why?
I think 2 big influences, especially here at work. Well, my wife was one big influence. That was the travel part. But here at work, when I first started in public works, my foreman was Keith Walker, and he taught me an awful lot about doing the proper job and making sure that things are done right, because if you do it right the first time, you don't have to go back and do it. And the same as Steve Brown. Steve Brown taught me an awful lot about bridge inspections, the roads, the way to do things, and yeah, it was just both of them. A big influence here.
Can you tell us something about yourself that people don't know about you?
I don't know. I'm a pretty open book. I think everybody knows mostly everything about me. Well, no, I don't think so.
What is your superpower?
Um, I think I deal with stressful situations pretty good. Difficult people. You get the public when they're very upset. I don't mind talking them down and trying to explain how it goes. Difficult is, yeah, dealing with difficult situations and people.
You are happiest
When I'm not at work. Usually on my motorcycle. I love riding, and I think sitting on that and riding around it's very comforting, and it's thrilling. It's very nice to do.
what energizes you at work?
I like to learn things, and I think also when we do a good job and you can see the product we produced, I think that helps an awful lot. So, sometimes a new project like the pop-up park, we did a great job there, and we were getting a lot of feedback from the public, and that makes you feel good. And I think it makes you more prepared for the next time we have to do something like that.
What drains you at work?
Whiners, I think that's a big one. Complainers and whiners.
Do you have a nickname for work?
For work?
Yeah, does a nickname that we don't know about or that we know
No, not that I know of.
about? No nickname. What's your biggest pet peeve at work?
Whiners and complainers.
Whiners and complainers.
Yeah.
What has been the best thing about working for local government?
The security, the pension. I think those are the two biggest things. I could have been in construction, and one day I work in Vancouver, the next day it's in Richmond, and at least I know where I'm working all the time, and it makes it a lot easier.
And finally, what's a work-related accomplishment that you're really proud of?
Every snowfall, when all the roads are clear and we go home, and I drive through Coquitlam, half the streets aren't done. I drive through Port Moody, and people are actually parking on the bottom of the hills because they know that their city won't go up and clean their street. And after working 16, 18 hours here, everybody can drive everywhere. The roads are safe, and I feel a lot better, and it makes me proud to just see everything's done here, and then you go other municipalities and they're not done, and then you come in and 2 days later people send in the compliments and they say, we drove from Richmond to Port Coquitlam, and they say that as soon as we hit Port Coquitlam's borders, the roads are dry and black. You go everywhere else, they're all white. So that makes you feel good. I enjoy that.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.